Got to be real. Be real. Be real.
Hi you guys, how you all doing? I hope you're all good. Okay, so let's get straight into this video. Sky Sports versus Boxnation, and this is going to be hopefully a very interesting video and something to, you know, make you guys think a little bit, because I've spotted a few things which I know for a fact a lot of people have spotted, and I know for a fact a lot of people haven't spotted. Last night was George Groves versus Carl Froch rematch, and it was a tremendous fight. The fight couldn't have gone any better. The card was really good. Everything was spot on perfect, but there was an issue following the fight, which I've got, which I think a number of people have. It's the fans. Okay, now, how to put this? This was the biggest fight in British boxing history. Okay, but why was it such a big fight? You need to ask yourself the question, why was it a big fight? Are these two elite boxers? No, neither of them are. George Groves is not elite. Carl Froch is not elite. Carl Froch got banged out by Andre Ward. If he lost like a close fight, you know, you can make the argument that he is, you know, still one of the best. But I guarantee if he gets to the ring with Andre Ward, he doesn't stand a chance, and he'll lose probably worse this time. So neither of these fighters were the best of the best of the crop. And that's just the truth of it, yeah? And there's an issue we've got here. There's a huge issue. I guarantee the majority of fans watching last night's fight have not seen Andre Ward versus Carl Froch till today. They haven't seen it. Some of them might have, and simply because of Carl Froch, but they have not watched Andre Ward's fights, other than the Carl Froch fight. They probably, you know, they haven't seen all of any. They won't have seen. I bet you any money they haven't seen Andre Ward versus Chad Dawson. I guarantee they haven't seen that. And there's an issue we're having here. The issue is Kell Brook fans, George Groves fans, Carl Froch fans. The majority of these fans, they are what? They're boxing fans, okay? The secondary fans. They don't know about boxing. They don't really watch much boxing, and and that's fine. That's totally fine. You don't have to like love boxing and make it your primary sport. But then don't pretend like boxing is your first sport and dropping opinions, because only drop an opinion when you know what you're talking about. And these guys have no clue what they're talking about. They have no clue what they're watching. The commentating was so biased. Paulie Malignaggi said it was biased, right? And Kell Brook came and gave a comment, and he said on Twitter, he said, I found it very disrespectful, Amir Khan in the corner of an American fighter. Where I'm going to call Amir Khan out, I'll call him out. I thought it was a stupid move by Khan to be stood in an American corner, but the thing is, I think Amir Khan's come to a point where he's thinking, you know what, fuck this, I don't get support from my hometown, regardless of what reason. He doesn't get support from his hometown, and yet Kell Brook gets support. I can't understand this. I can't understand how. And this is the thing, okay, the people who watch Boxnation, yeah, they understand boxing, because I'm gonna go into the economics of this now. Sky Sports originally, right, had all the boxers from the UK, but they weren't really showing a lot of American fights, and Mayweather needed a platform to fight on. Pacquiao needed a good platform to fight on. A lot of American fighters needed, and it's not just American fighters. It's not an American thing. Rigondeaux, Erislandy Lara, Saul Canelo Alvarez is a Mexican. Boxing is a worldwide sport, not a UK-based sport alone. So you have to. Boxing is so big that I think it needed a channel like Boxnation for the hardcore boxing fans who are willing to pay £10 a month to watch them fights. And I'm very happy with Boxnation. Very happy. I'm not happy with Sky Sports, okay, and I'll tell you why. All the boxing hardcore fans are now purchasing Boxnation. That leaves you with the casual fans who are on Sky Sports. And the only reason Froch versus Groves was a big fight was because the rematch was a big. Well, the first fight was big and the rematch was even bigger. The only reason the rematch was so big is because what happened in the first fight, in the build-up that Sky Sports did, and they did a wicked job in terms of the marketing, because they managed to get the casual football fans on board. Now, this is where Sky Sports and Eddie Hearn are doing an amazing job, because they can market towards a general audience, whereas Boxnation is subscription only, so they are only targeting to the hardcore fans, but they're making money off the hardcore fans. It's like more people might have watched Carl Froch versus George Groves in comparison to, say, Canelo Alvarez versus Angulo, but who made more money? Arguably, no, I think Carl Froch actually made more money, but let's compare Mayweather. Fuck it, we'll just go to the main guy, Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know, a lot of people saw Carl Froch versus George Groves fight, but the thing is that Mayweather versus Canelo, or Canelo versus Angulo, or Pacquiao versus Bradley, or Pacquiao versus Marquez, these fights were also watched by a lot of people. But the difference between them fights and this fight is that them guys charge $45, $55, $65, which is what, about £30-40 to watch fight, like almost double the price of Carl Froch versus George Groves. So in America, the pay-per-view numbers, do you know what I mean? They're gonna be higher. Not the pay-per-view numbers, but the pay-per-view numbers and the pay-per-view revenue that they make is gonna be substantially higher. So realistically, who the hell is Carl Froch and George Groves? I mean, I was stood there and I asked a few people. I said, "Are you watching the fight tonight?" And I was just asking women who clearly don't watch boxing, right? Mid-aged woman, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I think my auntie's got it playing. Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch it." So these guys have absolutely no clue about boxing, but I guarantee that they went online and on their Twitter, blah blah blah, oh, George Groves is rubbish. He was losing that fight. And that's what these casual fans, and this is the problem that we're having, is that they're straying the opinion of boxing. And it's okay right now, but when you start getting up to fighters like Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the science of boxing, these guys are dropping their opinions left, right and centre, and they have no clue what they're talking about because they're not boxing fans. They don't understand boxing. They don't know who Tommy Hearns is. Do you know what I mean? They don't know about Sugar Ray Robinson. They don't know about Joe Louis. They don't know about these top-notch, elite, old-school fighters. You know what I mean? They'll be able to name Frank Bruno. They'll be able to name you Chris Eubank. But they won't know about Joe Louis. You see my point? So this is a problem that I'm having with Sky Sports. Is these fans are casual football fans who are jumping on the bandwagon and trying to pretend that they know about boxing when in reality they don't. Box Nation, because it's a subscription, right? Only the hardcore boxing fans pay for Box Nation, and I'd like to say, and I like to think that the majority of fans, yeah, if you go on my videos and watch my videos, yeah, on say people like, I don't know, Canelo versus Angulo, or Maidana versus Broner, the more you target the general public, the more bullshit opinions you get. The more it's concentrated, the more smarter opinions you get, because only the hardcore fans are watching this. Now, I'm going to explain something to you. There were a number of people which also didn't watch this fight. In America, the hardcore boxing fans, some of them didn't watch this fight. I know a friend of mine, he's very into boxing. And he's watched all the fights apart from the Marquez versus Alvarado fight. He's watched all the fights. He was not interested in the Carl Froch versus George Groves. And do you know why he wasn't interested? He wasn't interested because he said, I don't like watching UK domestic level fights because they're not the best. I prefer to watch the best. And that's a fair argument he's made because, I mean, he watches all the elite, you know, anybody in the top tier welterweight division he likes to watch. Now, there's a lot of fans in the UK who will watch Kell Brook because it's free in Sky Sports. And do you know what I mean? They'll watch Kell Brook because it's on for free and they'll just watch it. But they won't watch an elite level fighter, which is Amir Khan, which is David Haye is still elite level. Do you know what I mean? These are the elite level fighters. And I mean, Tyson Fury, now that he switched off to Box Nation, Tyson Fury is no longer a Sky Sports fighter, and because of that, you're going to see Tyson Fury's fan base is going to switch hardcore as well, and people are going to start disliking him. And this is just, this is the problem that we're having. The fans, right, are casual football fans. They're football fans who are jumping on the bandwagon to boxing. And I know it's a bit all over here and there, and you people can quote little things about what I'm saying because I've done it raw. All my videos are raw. I don't plan this. It just comes out of my mouth. So, you know, people are going to be able to pick segments of what I've said and, you know, dissect it and find something wrong and something they disagree on and something wrong I've said, which, you know, you will be able to. But I don't think you can argue about the point I'm trying to make, and the point I'm trying to get across, that Sky Sports fans are casual boxing fans, and they are, and we need Sky Sports as well. Here's another thing: we need Sky Sports because Box Nation is not bringing any new fans onto the sport of boxing, whereas Sky Sports is going to make new fans of boxing and help British boxing on a whole. Because I mean, Froch versus Groves created new boxers. You could bet your ass here that in years to come, there will be a few hundred or a few thousand boxers who were created and due to Carl Froch versus George Groves. But you've got to understand, De Gale is not elite, right? Anthony Joshua, I love him. I think he's a brilliant fighter, but he isn't elite yet, right? And casual fans tend to miscue things. I mean, George Groves versus Carl Froch was a huge fight in that the event that it took place in. But realistically, two fighters, Who the hell is Carl Froch and George Groves? Who are they? They are nobodies. The truth is, in sport boxing, especially George Groves, he's a nobody. I was Team Groves in this fight, right? Because I don't like Froch here, I'll be straight. But I don't put my heart into boxing. I always choose my predictions with my mind. And that wasn't the reason I was going for Groves to win the fight. I feel that everything that happened in the fight, I said it in the post fight. I feel that George Groves was banging out Carl Froch, and people people are saying that. I think when Amir Khan came up to the mic and said, he said that George Groves taking control of the fight. I was posting my thoughts on the fight well before Amir Khan said anything, and I gave it. And on Twitter, if you go to my Twitter, Sham_Ayub, right, it's there, right. And check out what I was saying. My tweets were George Groves first round, George Groves second, third, and I gave Froch 2 rounds, and then I was giving it George Groves by 5, Froch by 2, and people don't know what they're talking about are going by what Sky Sports are saying, and they don't know about boxing. They don't know how to score boxing. They don't understand that in boxing, it's about the effectiveness of punches landed, clean punches landed, ring generalship. Okay, these are and it has to be a clean punch landed. This is the same casual fans, who were jumped on the bandwagon watching Maidana versus Mayweather. Casual Argentinian football fans were watching Mayweather Maidana and felt that Maidana won the fight. He didn't win the fight. Okay, Mayweather's defense won Mayweather the fight. Okay, because Maidana wasn't landing any clean punches. Mayweather was landing the cleaner, more effective punches. So do you get what I'm saying? Okay, casual fans, keep your comments to yourself. Watch the sport. And when you start studying Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, these are my favourite fighters, Tommy Hearns, Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, right? When you start studying them fighters, right, and you start studying Willie Pep, right? When you start studying the old fighters and you have an appreciation for them, and you start watching Marquez versus Alvarado, and you start watching Brandon Rios, and you're watching Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Amir Khan, you're watching Rigondeaux, Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley. When you're watching Devin Alexander, when you're watching these fighters, instead of watching Kell Brook and George Groves and Carl Froch, then come and make your comments, okay? Because these people are saying that Kell Brook will knock Amir Khan around the ring. Kell Brook won't do shit to Amir Khan. Kell Brook struggling against Carson Jones, and his career will get ended. And I never make pre-fights, but I'm telling you now, his career will get handed to him when he fights Sean Porter. I'm telling you now, Sean Porter will absolutely annihilate Kell Brook. Kell Brook doesn't stand a chance. Stylistically, Carson Jones busted up Kell Brook, right? And I'm telling you, Sean Porter has a similar style to Carson Jones, but times 100, and he is gonna annihilate Kell Brook. See, he won't gas out. He'll just annihilate Kell Brook. Kell Brook is nobody, okay? He hasn't fought anyone, and there's a reason why he's not facing anyone. Truth is, he gets his ass kicked in sparring, right? And he doesn't look that spectacular in sparring. That's why Eddie Hearn isn't fully 100% confident with him. And that's why they keep bringing up Amir Khan's name. I want that one fight. Give Kell Brook a payday. And that's the truth and the bottom line. That is why Amir Khan won't give Kell Brook the fight. Not because he's scared. It's because he doesn't want Kell Brook to succeed. Because Kell Brook is a cheeky cunt, right? And Kell Brook talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. He doesn't fight no one, right? Who has he fought? He hasn't fought anybody in the elite level. He hasn't beat anybody in the elite level, right? And he's been a professional for years and years and years. And I got comments here on my previous video saying that Amir Khan went to the Olympics and blah blah blah. Is a bullshit reason, right? Kell Brook, right? He's had the chance to face elite level fight. It's not like he hasn't had the opportunity. He has, and he again and again and again he doesn't fight them, and he still hasn't announced a Sean Porter fight. So casual fans, please comment to yourself, right? True boxing fans watching Box Nation and watching Sky Box Office. Comment section below, subscribe as always. What do you guys think in a bit?